Hello. Welcome to the show. It's May 12th, Monday, May 12th. It's some pretty neat stuff happening in the news today. We got a stop, or at least a halt, to the tariff war between China and the US. So that's kind of big news if that affects you in some way. If you're buying, I don't know, toys or cheap stuff from China, I guess, and you'll be very happy to know that there's a stay on that. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Canadian election recounts going on right now. The Liberal Party's really close to a majority government, so they're pulling all the stops at this point to try and make sure that they get that majority government. What's up, Robert? Brass monkey cold here. It's funny. You beat Joe in here. So we're going to talk about, we talked about the election and a seat got recounted by one and got to the Liberals. So yeah, they're at 170, and maybe some deals with the NDP might get them over that 172 mark, which would be a little scary, but we'll talk about it. Also, we're going to talk about Trump's executive order that is supposed to, hopefully, I say supposed to, I'll explain, supposed to lower prescription drug prices for Americans. I say supposed to because really, I don't know how much this executive order will actually be able to do, because he tried this before and it didn't really work. And then the next government after him, Biden's government, just scrapped it. So we'll talk about it. A lot to talk about with that one. Also, we're going to talk about the Home Depot. If you're a pro account holder in Canada, I'm not sure about in the States. I know in Canada, at least, there are some issues with the pro account holding or the rewards for the pro account. And been going on for a while. I got some stuff to talk about with this, and I am actually a pro account holder, because if you don't know this, watching the podcast, that I'm actually sort of a contractor by vocation, sort of, I say, because I have a company. But anyways, so I have an account with them, and it's been nothing but trouble lately, so that's been irritating. What's up there, Joe? Late and gay. Welcome, bud. And so we'll talk about that. And I've got a little video to show you of how they're making it hard for you to enter receipts and to get your pro rewards. We'll talk all about it. This is kind of a little thing. It's kind of a little topic that it's near and dear to my heart, so we'll talk about it. And lastly, we'll go over some Clown World videos. I haven't done that in a while. I like to go on Clown World on X and check out some of their funny videos. There was like 3 of them that I kind of want to play and review. So we'll do that. We'll end on that on the podcast. So and if you're watching now and you aren't yet a subscriber to the podcast, or the channel, I should say, do that. I said do, because it doesn't cost you anything, and it's the best way to support the channel. Just subscribe. I won't charge you anything. And also look for videos during the week. If you missed the podcast and you want to check out some of the podcasts without actually going and watching the whole thing, you can check out some of the videos that I released during the week, and obviously like and comment and share, all that kind of stuff. Engagement. The engagement with a small channel, that's what helps small channels grow. And this one is not growing very well, so if you want to help it grow, that's the best way to help it grow. I'm not going anywhere though, so I'm just going to keep doing this every week. When the summer comes, I'll be a little bit of a, I'll be a little wishy-washy with it, but other than that, I'm going to keep going on this. So yeah, like I said, if you like it, best way to support it is all the things I'd said. All right, well, let's go, guys. Let's get into it right away. Let's get into the first thing here. Boop. Let's change over the browser here. Okay. Let me plop up the first thing here. Here we go. So the tariff war, or whatever you want to call it, the tariff struggle between the U.S. and China is at a halt. Kind of big news today. So Trump and the Chinese delegates, I guess, I don't know, they met in Switzerland or something to discuss, and they put a little stay on it, a little 90-day stay, the kind of thing they did with the Canada-US one. But obviously this one's a much bigger one. I'm going to read this. This is the BBC. Let's see what they have to say about this. So What does U.S.-China tariff deal mean? The U.S. and China have agreed to a truce to lower import taxes on goods being traded between the two countries. The agreement marks a major de-escalation of the trade war between the world's two biggest economies, which has sent shockwaves impacting countless other countries, including the UK. Both the U.S. and China have confirmed a reduction in the tariffs they imposed on each other following the initial escalation by President Donald Trump earlier this year. The deal involves both nations canceling some tariffs altogether and suspending others for 90 days by May 14th, which is 2 days from now. The result is that the additional U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports, that's the extra tariffs imposed in the recent standoff, will fall from 145% to 30%, while recently hiked Chinese tariffs on some U.S. imports will fall from 125% to 10%. China has also halted and scrapped other non-tariff countermeasures, such as the export of crucial minerals to the U.S., which it put in place in response to the initial escalation. The U.S. measures still include an extra 20% component aimed at putting pressure on Beijing to do more to curb the illegal trade in fentanyl, powerful opioid drug. The announcement came after the two countries held talks in Switzerland, the first between the two countries since Trump sparked the latest tariff war. So after the 90 days, trying to predict the next steps in this ongoing trade war between the U.S. and China these past few months has been difficult to say the least. But this is a major agreement between the world's two powerhouse economies and has been broadly welcomed. Even if the suspended tariffs are reinstated after 90 days because the vast majority of the tariffs that were announced after Liberation Day have been canceled, U.S. tariffs on China would only rise to 54%, and Chinese tariffs on the U.S. would rise to 34%. So you can see that it's either way, it's a massive win, especially if that somehow directly affects you. Now, people are worried about these tariffs like crazy, but while it directly affects you, it's more of an indirect effect. Maybe it'll raise the price on something marginally. You probably won't even notice on a lot of different things, but if you're directly involved with this somehow, your business or maybe your business uses something that the U.S. imports from China, well, and perhaps it really affected you. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the consensus from both countries was that neither side wants a decoupling, while China's Commerce Ministry said the agreement was a step to lay the foundation to bridge differences and deepen cooperation. So here we go. So here's basically some of the reason why Trump has these tariffs in place against China. So in 2024, the biggest category of goods exported from the U.S. to China were soybeans, primarily used to feed China's estimated 440 million pigs. That's a nasty way to. Nah. I was going to say something mean there. I'll relent. The U.S. also sent pharmaceuticals and petroleum. Meanwhile, China exported large volumes of electronics, computers, and toys. The biggest category of U.S. imports from China is smartphones, accounting for 9% of the total. A large proportion of these smartphones, Apple iPhones, made in China. However, the U.S. buys much more than China, 440 billion, than it sells to it, 145 billion, which is something Trump has long been unhappy with. That's what he's talking about, the trade deficit. So he's saying that, it's a $300 billion trade deficit because the U.S. is buying a ton more from China than China's buying from the U.S. So he's trying to do what he can to even that out. His reasoning in part for introducing tariffs and higher ones on countries which sell more to the U.S. than they buy is to encourage U.S. consumers to buy more American-made goods, increase the amount of tax raised, and boost manufacturing jobs. Excuse me. He's always been about that. In his first term, he was the same thing. It was always about getting manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. So, he's very consistent. The escalating trade war in recent months has led to a collapse in the amount of goods being shipped across the Pacific Ocean, but investors believe the truce will lead to a rebound with shares up for some of the world's biggest shipping firms. So here's the top 5 imports and exports, basically. So U.S. exports to China, soybeans 9%, aircraft and engines 8%, integrated circuits 4%, pharmaceuticals 4%, and petroleum 3%. And China exports to the U.S. smartphones 9%, laptops 7%, batteries 3%, toys 2%, and telecoms equipment 2%. You notice all those top 5 have something in common. It's the little Asian eyes at the working real close to the electronics and stuff, as the memes go. I'm not gonna read any of the rest of this, but Yeah. So I mean, realistically, it's a good thing. This was, I think this was always the aim. He was always trying to make a deal, and people will say, "Oh, well, China won," or whatever. Or Trump relented, but that wasn't. It wasn't what it was about. What people don't understand is this is a shakeup. It's it's a way for the U.S. to now get to the negotiation table with a country that probably wasn't willing to get there. So I think it's a good thing. I don't know how you can view this as bad. I think this is a win all the way. What are you guys saying? I'm exhausted and feel like I was hit by a truck. Last night was our busiest night of the year with crews, almost 900 of the 1,200 plus reservations we had last night. Holy shit, you must have been busy, man. Oh, well, I guess, yeah. It was Mother's Day. Everywhere was busy. Racism feels good, Alex. It's natural. Just look back at any lunchroom you were growing up in. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna say when it said pigs, I was gonna say it's a nasty way to talk about the Chinese people. I didn't mean it. It just came. The evil came into my brain, and I wanted to say it. I get evil things coming to my head all the time, and sometimes I say them. Sometimes I check myself. So it's all in jokes. Come on. What are you saying here? Wait a minute. If less than 10% of our products, less than 10% of our out products doesn't sound right. What do you mean? No, it's just saying the percentage of what the exports are. Like the highest percent is 9%. There's various other stuff, right? But that makes up the total 100%. But I don't know if that's what you meant. All right. Anyways, let's get on the next thing here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I want to get to those videos. This is gonna be fun. All right, you guys are just talking about food and stuff over there. You're having a little conversation of your own. Spies and fentanyl. And pollution, human and otherwise. Yeah. There's a lot of exports out of China. Some are good. All right. Okay, so the Liberals aren't done with the election, apparently. Apparently they're going after a majority, and they're pulling out all the stops. This one's a little weird, and I don't know how I feel about this, but let me read this article here. This is global news, so don't expect much. Liberal MP celebrates roller coaster win, flipping Quebec seat by 1 vote. I don't know. My spidey senses are tingling on this one. 24-year-old Quebecer is celebrating one of the closest victories in the history of federal politics after flipping a Bloc Québécois seat to Liberal by an incredibly narrow margin. Incredibly narrow margin means 1. It's been a roller coaster from winning to not winning and then winning again, said Tatiana Auguste, the new member of parliament for Terrebonne, Quebec, northeast of Montreal. She won her seat by a single vote following a judicial recount by Elections Canada. This is where, this is where people, wonder. This is where people go, not sure. I honestly don't know why we can't have everything done electronically, have it all locked, have it all done electronically, have that all locked, and then have the numbers just broadcast out without any manipulation. This paper ballot and physical counting shit, it's a little weird. Seems very archaic. Still feels a little bit surreal, she said on Mother's Day with her mom looking on during the interview. My family is very proud, very happy. I don't know if they understand what's to come, but we shall see. The rookie politician was born in Haiti and grew up in Montreal. She has a degree in economics and worked as a political staffer before running for public office. Gus says she and the Liberals represented a breath of fresh air in the riding where the Separatist Party had been in power for a decade. Quebecers were instrumental in electing Prime Minister Mark Carney, where voters increasingly preoccupied by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs and threats to Canadian sovereignty moved away from the Bloc and towards the Liberals. It's kind of funny because if you voted for the Bloc Québécois was the party that wanted to separate back in the day. So it's funny how full circles come. Auguste was projected to win on election night, but the incumbent Bloc candidate Nathalie Sinclair de Gagné moved ahead in a validation process. The seat ultimately went to Augusta after the recount. We had confidence in the system that it would do what it had to do, and we waited, and thankfully for us, it went well. Anyways, okay. So the victory means the Liberal seat count now stands at 170, just too shy of the number needed for a majority government. Doesn't matter whether they get a majority or not. They're going to act like a majority. Last week, interim NDP leader Don Davies told Global News the Liberals are making phone calls to NDP members of Parliament to see if they'll join the Liberal Party in an effort to reach a majority government. The good news is they only have 7 phone calls to make. The NDP party is just a complete mess. Carney is preparing to unveil his cabinet Tuesday and will have a significant Quebec caucus to choose from. That now includes Auguste after her nail-biting victory. Terrebonne resident, whatever, who cares about what a resident had to say. It's, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's over. Doesn't seem like it's going to be over until they get that majority because they're real close, and it feels like they're not going to end. They're not going to end these recounts. They're not going to end their push until that happens, one way or the other. I don't know. So I say one way or the other. You infer what you want from that. One vote is a little bit, I don't know, a little sketchy to me. Yeah, one vote. That should be called in for a recount at the bare minimum, if not a special election. I agree. One vote, and it's like 50,000 votes. Like, that's nuts, man. Like, somebody pulled out a couple votes out of their pocket. No, I'm not suggesting voter fraud. No, never happens, ever. Would never happen. Doesn't happen. Everything's legit. Alberta wants gone. Republic of Alberta, you do. Cough, I think you mean the state of Alberta. Yeah. Well, either way, maybe it'll be, Alberta will be it'll be like Puerto Rico. Not exactly a state, but like basically like a vassal state. Yeah. One vote really would matter. Shit. You're in Montreal. Ah, shit. I didn't vote. It's pretty funny. My vote didn't matter, unfortunately. Where I was, my riding in Canada here, my riding went Liberal, so my vote didn't matter. Whatever. I don't think they survive old Trumpy's advances as the independent republic. Yeah. Well, no, they just want no bullshit from the rest of Canada. That's what they're the richest province in Canada. So the rest of them can't really say shit. Yep, you would definitely want it. The states would want Alberta for sure. It's a rich province. All right, let me get on the next thing here. Bloop. This is a cool story. So Trump has an executive order to lower prescription drug costs in the U.S. I don't know how this in any way is a bipartisan thing. I just don't understand how this wouldn't be 100% overwhelming majority support across the board, all the way around, everybody, other than lobbyists and the companies themselves. I just don't get it, but I'm sure they'll be fighting it. Let's read what NPR has to say about this. Trump signs it in order to reduce drug prices, but it's unclear how it would work. President Trump is taking aim at U.S. drug prices with an executive order geared towards forcing drug companies to match the lower prices paid in other developed countries. If drug makers don't do it voluntarily, the administration is threatening to directly tie drug prices paid by government programs like Medicare to those paid in other countries. Whoever is paying the lowest price, that's the price we're going to get, Trump said in an announcement at the White House, explaining what he called most favored nation pricing. He called it that before, but it should be. I mean, realistically, it's the U.S. Like, obviously, should get the best price. He said drug makers would have to cut their U.S. prices to the level paid by other developed countries or face consequences. If necessary, we'll investigate the drug companies and will, in particular, investigate the countries that are doing this, he said. He also said that the U.S. market would be open to imports from other countries. So that's scary for the big old drug companies because, they don't like competition. You let them in and suddenly, whoops, that's a Pandora's box, or that's a genie you can't put back in the bottle. Patients in the U.S. generally pay more for drugs than patients in other countries, largely because other countries have government healthcare systems that set prices that they are willing to pay. The U.S. by and large doesn't set prices, so drug companies have more freedom to see what prices the market here will bear. And it's also the insurance companies or the private insurances that do that drive up the prices a little bit too. There's a number of things going on like that. We've been subsidizing other countries throughout the world by paying higher prices, Trump said at the White House Monday, joined by leaders of federal health agencies. The new executive order has multiple parts. It directs the U.S. Trade Representative and Department of Commerce to take action against unreasonable and discriminatory policies that lower drug prices abroad, though it's not clear what authority the White House has in this regard. It also directs Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to facilitate direct-to-consumer sales that bypass health insurance at lower prices. The order says that within 30 days, the administration will give price targets to drug makers to bring prices for American patients in line with the comparable developed nations. The order lays out actions the administration would take if drug makers don't comply voluntarily, such as rulemaking to impose the prices. It's unclear in the short term what legal authority the administration would have to enforce the order. Trump said he doesn't think the move would hurt drug companies' ability to make money because they will put pressure on other countries to make up the differences by paying their prices. Europe's going to have to pay a little bit more, Trump said. The rest of the world is going to have to pay a little bit more, and America's going to pay a lot less. Okay, what I don't understand about this is why would there be any backlash about this at all? But apparently there is. But the guys that are backlashing this, it's obvious for this reason. But after the executive order was announced, Pharma president, or whatever, PHRMA, so Pharma president and CEO Steve Ubel, that doesn't even sound like a real word, said in a statement, to lower costs for Americans, we need to address the real reasons U.S. prices are higher. Foreign countries not paying their fair share and middlemen driving up prices for U.S. patients. He added, the administration is right to use trade negotiations to force foreign governments to pay their fair share for medicines. U.S. patients should not foot the bill for global innovation. Well, okay, that sounds fairly reasonable, but then why are you against it? I don't understand why these guys are coming out against this executive order. Anyways, whatever. So this just says he proposed it before, and there was some pushback, and then Biden just dropped it. So again, I don't understand why there would be any fight on this at all, other than again from the lobbyists and from the drug companies themselves, and maybe from other countries. Maybe they don't like the idea that they're going to have to pay a little bit more. But I don't understand why the U.S. would allow themselves to pay the most when it's U.S. companies that are making these drugs. So it's bizarre, man. This is like capitalism gone wild and ridiculous. So hopefully this works. I don't know. Guardedly optimistic because just because it's an executive order doesn't mean he's going to isn't going to have a ton of judges and all kinds of pushback from lobbyists and such to try and kill this executive action. So, but it's a nice thing anyway. I can't see why anybody would not think this was good. No, it's what are you saying? They all take this. You're still talking about Alberta transfer pricing. 50 South African war refugees on a plane to the U.S. I don't know what you're talking about there, but again, probably a story I don't even know about. All right. Anyways, okay. Let's get on to the next thing, gentlemen. This one is not exactly a. Let me switch here. This one's not exactly a. What do you call it? Like a news story. This is kind of like my own sort of story. So let's kind of get into it here. All right. So if you're a Home Depot Pro account holder, you might know some of the struggles that we've been having over the last little while with just getting our Pro rewards put into our account essentially. So when you go into the store, when you're keying in your pro account number, it's not working, and then it's doing this thing where it freezes it out, and then you're supposed to go and add the receipt yourself to your pro account. Well, you can see on the right here some of the struggles that I was having just trying to enter a receipt in today. So I thought I would videotape this. This was on my phone. Obviously, you can see the cancel button right there nicely. But then under that is supposed to be the accept. Once you put the information in, yeah, good luck. You can't put it in. You can actually, there's a little kind of hack. See where that little red line is right there? You can actually, if you line it up nicely, you can click on that and get it. I've gotten it a couple times, but then it'll say, oh, the receipt's been added sometimes, and other times it'll say, no, it's a duplicate receipt. It hasn't been added or whatever. So I have to do an audit of my account. I spend a lot of money at Home Depot, so I have to do a little audit and see what's actually in there and what isn't in there. But I just think that this is kind of this might be a little scam they're running. Maybe the Home Depot's paying out too much in Pro Extra Rewards because I'm at the high level, so I'm at the 4% mark. So I get 4% back of whatever I spend. So for every $10,000, I get $400 back, which is nice. One of my last rewards were like, I think it was like $1,400 or something quarterly. So you can do the math. I spend, like I'm in the 30 or something $40,000 range quarterly. So I spend a decent amount of money. I'm probably not even one of the big guys, but yeah, the way I look at it is, I think if this were the other way around and it was screwed up in a way that they had to pay more money out to the pro account holders, I think they'd fix this shit pretty quick. This has been going on for months, literally months now, and it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. It just seems to be getting worse. And like I said, and you can see from my little illustration here that it's not even easy to just enter your stuff in online. Look at that. I got a little Uber Eats notification while I was doing it. Uber Eats is trying to always get me because I might order a lot from Uber Eats. Anyways, so you can see this. If you're a pro account holder and you're running into this issue yourself, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. If if you're having trouble, the same trouble I'm having with as far as entering receipts and then not seeing them after I enter them. I entered a couple last week, still don't see them. So I don't know. I just think that this could be something they're doing. Maybe, hey, it's like it's the old adage, don't let a crisis go to waste. I'm not saying that they did this on purpose where they screwed up the rewards program, but maybe there was a glitch and they went, hey, you know what? Maybe let's not fix that glitch. Let's not be so quick to fix the glitch because realistically, it's not costing them any money. It's just costing pro account holders money in rewards. And if you think about it this way, if like even 10 to 20% of the pro account holders weren't diligent in making sure they entered their receipts or checking or any of that kind of stuff, that's got to be a massive, massive savings for them. So pretty shady, pretty stupid shit going on here. Pretty bad for a company like the Home Depot to be pulling this garbage. But I don't know. They are. So let me know what you think in the comments. What are you guys saying here? Maybe Home Depot is giving you the same treatment that YouTube gives me. Yeah, I think so. For building materials. Yeah, because you guys know I have a property management company, so I buy a lot of shit. I guess I can get off this. Get back to the browser here, so that thing isn't moving around. Yeah, so I spend quite a bit on materials, but I don't know, man. It's just weird to me that if this were an error that were costing them money, 100% they would have fixed this thing fast. Would have been fixed within a week. This is literally going on for months. And who's going to audit their account? Who's going to go in and actually check all the receipts? I literally spend I'm probably at the Home Depot 5 times a week. Like, so I'm there almost on the daily. I'm not going to check all my fucking receipts, every one of them, especially for a couple $100 at a time. Like I just did one for flooring the other day for $2,500. I'll check to make sure that one's on there. because that one alone is $100 back to me. So yeah, I'll check that one for sure to make sure that one was in there. But like, for like $100 receipt or something where it's $4 back to me, it's just irritating to me because they're probably doing that. They're probably just slow, dragging their feet on this one because it saves them a lot of money in the interim. And they just say, oh, we're just working on this. And well, hey, I keep getting told this at the store all the time where they say, oh, no, you can go online and enter your receipt. I'm like, I fucking know I can enter my own receipt, but I don't need homework for buying my shit from you. I don't need to go home now and I have to audit my pro account or go get the receipt because I file all my receipts in all the different files of jobs I have. So I'd have to open all my files, check all my receipts, check them to match the number, make sure it's in there. Fuck off. Like I need that. So they know that a lot of people aren't going to do that. So the people that aren't going to do it, just, that's, like I said, that's enough of a savings for them to get away with on this stupid thing. Do you have Lowe's? Yeah, we have Lowe's, but it's Rona now. Rona bought up Lowe's up here. So Rona's a Canadian company. It's all the same. But Lowe's tried it up here in Canada, but they really haven't taken any real hold. I mean, there are Lowe's around, but then Rona's buy them, and then there's Rona's, and Home Depot is the biggest. If you don't want pain in the ass to try and find shit, Home Depot is probably the best way to go. $4 Canadian is $4 Canadian or $2.90 Freedom units. That's funny. Freedom units. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was just watching a TikTok the other day, and it was showing a house. You could buy a house in Canada, like Kitchener, for example, in Canada, and that house would go for around $900,000 for like a fucking. It's hilarious what it is, what you get for it. You get like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that looks like it was built in the 50s or something. Take that same money and convert it to US, and that would be about $650,000 US dollars. You can go down to Texas, like San Antonio, Texas, and buy a fucking mansion with 3-car garage and like 4-5 bathrooms and like 5 bedrooms, like 3,400 square feet or something. Beautiful house. So, yeah. So, sucks to live up here in Canada. Gonna have to take all my Canadian shillings and trade them in for American freedom dollars. Go live in San Antonio or something. Anyways, all right. Let's get on to the fun stuff. Yeah. First video here. Okay, so if you've watched this podcast enough, I love Clown World. Clown World on X is a hilarious little site that they just have the funniest videos on there. Stupid and funny and frustrating and all the above. So I went on there today and perused a little. I found 3 lovely videos that I wanted to share with you and react to, and we can have a laugh together. One you're maybe not gonna laugh. One you're definitely gonna laugh, and the other, yeah, you're gonna feel bad and laugh at the same time. So, well, let's start with the one you'll laugh at first. All right, let me populate this up here. Bloop. Okay, here we go. This little prank.
My fucking hat.
Damn, actually?
I love it. Damn, actually?
Oh, I didn't know that was bad. My bad, Brad. Like, actually. No, actually.
I didn't know that was bad. Like, actually. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't know that was bad. Like, actually. That's what he has to say. You go up and walk up to a stranger, grab his hat off his head, and taunt him. Especially a guy the size of him versus the size of the little prick that did it. And he acts surprised that he got a smack. He's lucky he got a smack. He's lucky he didn't go over there and just put him, like, squash him into the hat, because he probably could have. I just love I love that he's surprised. I love that he's like, oh, actually? And actually, what do you mean actually? What the fuck is that? Oh, you actually hit me. Yeah, I fucking hit you. That's what happened. Actually, I did. Oh, there's actually what do you call it? What am I looking for? Consequences to my actions? There's actually consequences? Yeah, there is. How fucking weird is that? Wow. These fucking kids, man, they're growing up on the internet and shit, and they think they can just do shit. They think they can just do something without any consequence. And then they get in the real world, and somebody smacks them in the face. That was the feel-good video for today. Oh, he signed up on X, yeah. Yeah, I have an X account with myself, like my own, and then I have an X account with Transcend, but I just never use it. There's too many things to use. Old Gold, I know, it was great, eh? Nice, how do you like it? Yeah, repercussions is the word, yeah, there you go. I was just trying to blank. All right, let's do another one. All right, this one here. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, shit. Oops. Here we go. All right. All right, well, here's another Clown World video. This one, this one's just funny. It's cringe, but it's funny.
Hi, my name is Nathan Chaika.
I am Shivar Anthonison on TikTok.
And this is our studio basement, me and Dylan's studio basement.
For TikTok, yep.
And I'm just
TikTok,
posting this on Instagram of me and Dylan. So we're going to be getting money on TikTok and Instagram too. So
once I figure it out.
Yeah.
Once I figure it out.
Once he figures it out too. But I could show him how to get him to use it and get to learn it more.
Mm-hmm.
Say something else.
Say something else.
And we hope to have as much content for you guys as possible.
And we're gonna do good.
You're gonna coach him again,
I'm
right
gonna
here.
be helping him, support him, anything I need.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, and done.
Okay. All right. A lot to unpack here. These guys, I think they figured it out. They figured out the algorithm. They've figured out how, in their seemingly ineptitude, they've actually figured it out. By putting this out there, this is gold. This is going to monetize them right away. They're like, oh, we didn't even figure it out, but we got to monetize. We got money anyway. It's good. And my weird broken hand thing, people like it. It must have been this that people liked. I don't know why, but they're watching this video a lot. So in our little weird basement. Fuck. I don't know if they're trolling. They might be trolling. They might actually fully know what they're doing, and they're completely trolling. Either way, well done, boys. I hope you're internet rich. I don't know how he hurt his hand. I'm guessing from trying to figure out the internets. Cringe talk. Who's the top? Well, the guy whispering to the other guy's got to be the top. You know, Handy McCanned hand has got to be the top, I would think. And exactly, we're watching it, and I'll bet you a ton of people watched that and probably shared it and shit because it's just weird, funny. I'm gonna have to do a video like that. I think that's how I'm gonna blow up my other channel. I'm just gonna do some really weird, acting like I don't know what I'm doing videos. Yeah, and yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I did force you to watch it. Well, I watched it, so I shared it with you guys. You're welcome. All right, let's go to the next one here. This one's. Ugh. I saved the best for last. Put it that way. All right. Well, here's another Clown World for you. You're gonna like this one. This one's special. What is this guy doing? Oh, sorry, gal, whatever the fuck that is. What is that? If you're not attracted to that and you're a man, you're gay. Clearly, you have to be. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Smorgasbord going on there. Oh, they bump in. Oh, there's a little bit of a SWAT. Get out of my way, bitch. This is all those virgins they're promised. Ugh, this is what they're doing over there, man. They're planning terrorism, and they're this is the other thing. I don't know if that's a lot of money or if that's like 30 cents. Just not sure. That guy's the handler. Here, take my monies. Take all the monies they're throwing at me. We've reached peak internet at this point. That's it's about as good as it gets there. So I don't even know what to say about this. Just read off some my racist remarks. Those reactions are the best. This is an emotional roller coaster. Middle East twerking. Yeah. This is listen, it's worked, okay? All of the money that we spent on USAID, sending over to the different countries to spread the good word, has worked. They're officially all gay over in the Middle East, and they're twerking and doing whatever the hell that was. So, Iranians, no, or coolies, all the above, man. I don't know what was going on there. I couldn't. Like, I was scrolling through. I'm like, what the fuck is this? like, it even says, what in the hell? That's why I love. This is why I love Clown World, man. You can find all kinds of stupid, weird shit. It's like, I don't even know where they find this shit. I don't know. But anyways, those are supposed to be the guys that are like really, really against that kind of stuff. So, the world's getting a lot more progressive now, I guess. I'm proud of those guys over there. And gals are. I don't think there was a girl there. Honestly, I don't think that. Well, for one, I think they're not allowed. I just figured it out. The reason why they're moving in that direction is because the women aren't allowed to show their ankles even. So, they're only allowed to show the eyes. These guys, they're able to dress all sexy for the Iranian or Arab boys. And after the party, he blew the roof off the place. By accident though. He got really excited and just wah. Yeah. Like I said, those are the virgins. Those are the ones. They got tricked. Yeah. Anyways. That's all I got, boys. Holy shit, man. I plugged through that. 43 minutes. 43-minute podcast. Jeez, man. I'm just barreling through stuff really quick. So, you guys got anything to say? Switch. There. Whip. There we go. I'll switch over to this guy. Get my whole face. I don't know if you want it, but you got it. Eyes are sexier than ankles. Man, that one guy, or sorry, the one gal there had a real odd looking, strange looking body. Like weird, dumpy looking, bizarre. Some boobs too, it seemed. Probably not real. Probably just some padding in a bra. I don't know if they had bras over there. I didn't think they needed them. But yeah, that was you're welcome. That's your creepy grossness for the day. The fact that it was taking place in a place that is supposed to be completely against that kind of thing is very strange. So, all right, that's it. That's all I'm doing, guys. 45 minutes. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna end this podcast. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen, and anyone else who may have joined. Thank you. I saw the viewers going up and down, and some people were coming in and leaving and coming back or not coming back. I don't know. Nobody's talking other than you guys. Apparently the Iranians are into that. Does that bottle in the back have a blue bow tie? There was a lot to go into on that. You can watch that video probably 50 times and you're going to pick up something new. So there was a lot going on. A feast for your senses. So if you can get past the idea that the Arabs have gone gay. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for coming, being being a part of the conversation with me. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel and you like the podcast, you should subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, if you missed the podcast and you want to go back and watch the 45 minutes, I don't blame you. But you can check during the week, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time between Tuesdays and Sundays. I will post some of the content that I talk about on the podcast. And if you watch that, obviously comment, like, share, all that kind of stuff. Anything you do to help the small channel. If you like this channel, if you don't, well, whatever. Even if you have a negative comment, I like the negative comments if they're funny. If they're just stupid, well, maybe keep them to yourself. As with any stupid comment, if you've got something to say that's just plain stupid, maybe just keep it to yourself. But if it's stupid but also funny, or mean and funny, post it. Don't keep that shit to yourself. That's a waste of a good joke. So no on your bar. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, back there. One of my this way. Yeah, I don't know. Some of my bottles of drink. Yeah, it does have a bow tie on it. Blue bow tie. I'm not sure what it is, but I get bottles as gifts, and it stocks my bar, and I don't drink them, so they just I think I just put them there, and I got to put them away. Anyways, so yeah. So if you like the podcast, like I said, hit the subscribe, jump in, and look for me next week, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here again, unless I'm not, in which case then I won't be here. But most likely I'll be here. So look for me then. Jump in the comments. The boys, they'll talk to you. I'll talk to you for sure. We'll all talk to you, so you won't be ignored. Thanks for watching. Again, thanks Joe. Thanks Robert. Thanks for being with me. Everybody else, thank you. We'll see you next week.